Hey, welcome back to Context Clues and Conversation. I'm Emily, here with Zach. If you enjoy learning through real chats, tap subscribe so you catch every new episode and keep your momentum.
Glad you're here. Today we're digging into context clues, the little hints in a conversation, tone, keywords, gestures, and the situation that help you guess meaning even when a word is new.
A quick story. Last week at a cafe, the barista pushed my card back and said, "Don't worry, it's on me." I didn't know the phrase, but his smile and relaxed tone told me it meant free.
Was it the words or everything around them that helped you, Emily? Sometimes the scene, the hustle, the body language speaks louder than vocabulary.
Exactly. Context, meaning the situation, did the heavy lifting. He waved away the payment, other customers laughed, and I inferred, which means guessed from clues, that on me equals I'll pay.
That reminds me of a tech meetup. Someone said, "Let's pivot," and I froze for a second. But he crossed out our plan on the whiteboard and drew a new arrow. From that action, I guessed pivot meant change direction.
Quick recap. Clues can be tone, actions, visuals, and the situation. You don't need every word. You need enough signals to build the picture.
Here's a simple habit. Listen, pause, predict. If a sentence surprises you, take a breath and ask, what's the mood? Which key word stands out? What does the speaker want? Then keep listening.
Speaking of that, a coworker once said, "It's hectic, super busy." That second part is a paraphrase, another way to say the same idea. Paraphrases and synonyms help you confirm meaning without stopping the conversation.
Also, listen for signal words like but, so, and for example. They show relationships. But signals contrast. So shows result. For example, introduces proof. Those small signals guide your understanding.
If you meet a mystery word, smile, stay curious, and ride the context. Often the speaker rephrases naturally. Rephrase simply means to say it again in a different way.
All right, that's our warm-up. You know who we are, you know the goal. Stick with us. Next, we'll break down tone and stress so your ears catch meaning even faster. Let's dig a little deeper into how we hear meaning, not just words. Tone, stress, and intent are like the soundtrack behind a sentence. They tell you how the speaker feels and what they want.
A few months ago, my manager said, "Can you pop into my office?" My stomach dropped. But his tone was light, and he even laughed a little. That sound told me, "Relax, this isn't trouble." When I sat down, he praised a project and offered me more responsibility. Same words could be scary with a hard voice, but that gentle tone flipped the meaning. Tone is emotional color.
Stress is where the speaker puts extra energy. Yesterday, I told a friend, I didn't break the deadline. When I stressed didn't, I was denying it. If I stress deadline, I'm focusing on the time limit. Stress equals emphasis.
And then there's sarcasm. A teammate looked at my coffee spill and said, "Great job." The flat, dry tone told me she meant the opposite. Sarcasm means you say one thing but intend another.
Intonation matters too, the pitch sliding up or down. On the subway, a stranger said, "You're getting off here?" with rising pitch at the end. That rise signaled a question, not a command. Later, the conductor said, "Doors are closing now." The voice fell at the end, clear, certain, no debate. Falling intonation often signals a finished idea, a decision, or confidence.
Speaking of that, the clinic once called me about a test result. The words were, "as soon as possible," which can feel urgent. But the soft, steady tone felt caring, not panicked. Intent, the purpose behind the message, was to check in, not alarm me.
Quick recap. Listen for tone, mood, stress, which word carries weight, and intonation, rise, or fall. Those three clues often give you meaning before your brain catches every word.
In a meeting, someone said, "I might have missed the deadline." He stressed might, and his voice dipped with regret. The subtext, that hidden layer, was, "I'm worried, but open to solutions." I answered calmly and asked how to help.
Do you notice filler words when people stress? A sincere, really, or a stretched, so, can add emphasis. I told a colleague, that was really helpful, with warm tone, and he knew I meant it.
Funny you say that. When I worked in a call center, they trained us to smile while speaking. You could hear the smile. The voice softened, the pitch lifted slightly, and callers relaxed.
Another small cue is pace. When someone speeds up, they might feel excited or anxious. When they slow down, they might be careful or serious. Pace supports intent like a spotlight.
Mini recap. Check mood. Catch the stressed word. Notice rise or fall, and feel the pace. You'll decode messages faster, even with new vocabulary in the mix.
When meaning is fuzzy, I ask a gentle question. Yesterday I said, just to be clear, is that urgent or just soon? The tone stayed respectful and the answer came easily.
That's the heart of it. Tone, stress, and intent are friendly guides. Keep your ears open, stay calm, and let those sound clues lead you to meaning.
So let's talk about spotting synonyms and paraphrases, the twins of meaning. Yesterday at a bakery, the clerk said, "It's packed, super crowded." That quick second phrase repeated the idea and made it crystal clear.
I had one like that with my landlord. He texted, "The lease is void, basically not valid anymore." I didn't love the news, but that paraphrase, restating the idea in new words, made the message easy to understand.
Signals help you catch it. Or, in other words, that is, also known as. At a gym intro, the coach said, "Low impact, in other words, gentle on your joints." Boom, meaning confirmed.
When I present, I'll drop a short paraphrase on purpose. We'll stay agile, meaning flexible and quick to adapt. People relax because the brain loves hearing the same idea twice in different words.
One caution, synonyms aren't identical, they're cousins. I told a street vendor, I want something affordable, not cheap. Both point to low price, but affordable sounds positive, respectful, nicer tone, same direction.
That reminds me of a late-night deadline. I asked my boss, "I'm exhausted, very tired." I watched her nod. Quick vocabulary moment. Exhausted is a strong synonym of very tired, but it feels heavier, more dramatic.
Mini recap. Listen for the second phrase that repeats or softens the first. If it follows a little signal word, treat it like a friendly subtitle that confirms what you just heard.
I use a mental check. Listen, pause, compare. In a chat thread, someone wrote, "Attendance is mandatory, required." 2 words, same idea. That tiny echo told me there was no choice, so I rearranged my day.
Travel example. My friend texted, "What's your ETA, arrival time?" I didn't know ETA years ago, but that quick paraphrase solved it. By the way, ETA is an acronym for Estimated Time of Arrival.
I like testing my understanding by mirroring the paraphrase. A teammate said, "Let's streamline, make it simpler." I replied, "Got it, we'll cut extra steps." That small echo showed we were aligned.
At home, I told my brother, I need to declutter, get rid of stuff. He laughed and pointed at my closet. The paraphrase turned a fancy word into everyday language. No dictionary needed.
And there's the dramatic work email. I'm swamped, extremely busy. Sometimes people add aka, which means also known as, to drop a synonym with humor. My calendar is chaos, aka full to the brim.
Another nuance. Strengthen or soften with the paraphrase. Concerned, just a bit worried, feels gentle, while furious, really angry, turns up the heat. The pair tells you the emotional temperature.
Quick recap number 2. Catch the signal words. Trust the echo phrase. Notice if the second part upgrades or downgrades intensity. Let those paired ideas guide your understanding and your response.
Coming up next, we'll lean on examples and contrasts, the little for instance and however moments that shape meaning even when vocabulary is fuzzy. Let's get into examples and contrasts. Think of signal words as road signs. When someone says, for example, they're about to turn a big idea into a small picture you can see.
At a ramen shop, I asked about umami. The server said, "It's a deep, savory taste. For example, mushrooms or soy sauce." Those two foods were the picture. The signal phrase guided me straight to the meaning.
I had a rental listing that said, cozy. Vague, right? Then the agent added, for instance, a small sofa and a narrow balcony. Those examples set the scale. Cozy suddenly meant compact, not fancy, not spacious.
Now, contrast words do the opposite. They push ideas apart. In a gym email I read, "We're open 24/7. However, staffed hours are 9 to 5. That, however, told me access is always, help is limited.
I heard it in a shipping call, too. We can send it today, but the express fee applies. That tiny but flipped the mood. Good news with a price tag. The contrast changed my decision.
And, on the other hand, signals an alternative, not a fight. In a planning meeting, Plan A is faster. On the other hand, Plan B is cheaper. The phrase invited comparison, not conflict.
Quick recap. For example, for instance, such as, introduce pictures. But, however, whereas, on the other hand, introduce differences. If you hear a signal, your brain can predict what's coming next. List, contrast, or choice.
Cause and result signals help too. A colleague said, "Because the roads were flooded, we delayed, so the meeting moved online." Because gave the reason, so gave the result. 2 clues, 1 clear chain.
Category signals narrow meaning. A grocery flyer said, citrus fruits, such as lemons and limes, are on sale. Even if citrus was new to you, those examples draw the circle around it.
At a tech talk, I didn't know interoperable. The speaker added, "It works across apps, for example, calendar and maps." That single example did the heavy lifting. I didn't need a dictionary in the room.
Try a micropause after a signal word. When you hear however, expect a turn. When you hear for instance, expect a specific case. That tiny pause helps your ears catch the new shape of the idea.
My friend said, "The hike is easy. However, it's all stairs." That contrast is a hidden warning label. Easy overall, but your legs will disagree. The signal word saved me from sandals.
I like asking a quick check question. So, in other words, we keep the features but we reduce the timeline? That mirrors the example and the contrast. Clear, polite, and it locks in understanding.
Another pattern. Not X, but Y. A recruiter told me, not remote, but hybrid. Even without details, the contrast drew the line. Some office days, some home days. No confusion needed.
Mini recap. Examples paint a picture, contrasts draw boundaries, cause and result ties events together. Follow those signal words and you'll fill vocabulary gaps fast without stopping the flow of conversation.
Up next, we'll put these clues to work with a short listen, pause, predict challenge, so your ears can catch meaning in real time.
All right, let's run a live round of listen, pause, predict. We'll share a short, real message, pause to guess the meaning, then confirm it with clues from tone, timing, or signal words.
Exactly. Quick and real. The rhythm is simple. Listen, pause inside your head, make a small prediction, then check. Tiny guesses build confidence because your brain learns the pattern of everyday talk.
Scenario 1. A teammate says in a calm voice, "Let's table this until after the launch." There's no stress in his tone, more like practical planning. I'll pause here. What does table suggest?
I'd predict it means postpone. The clue is the signal phrase, "until after the launch," which points to a later time. The relaxed tone supports that it's not urgent or negative, just scheduling.
Nailed it! In American English, table often means delay. Quick note, in some places, table can mean bring forward for discussion, but here the time signal, until after, locks in postpone.
Scenario 2. At a cafe, the barista whispers, "Can you cover me for 10?" He hands over an apron and points at the register. Pause. What's the likely meaning?
I'd predict he wants temporary help. Watch the counter for 10 minutes. Clues: the gesture with the apron, the register point, and the time hint for 10 signal a short replacement, not a full shift.
Yes, cover me here means take my place briefly. Notice how the context, apron, register, does the heavy lifting. Even if cover felt vague, the scene made it precise.
Micro recap. We listened, paused, then predicted using time hints and visuals. Signals like until after and for 10 narrowed meaning before any dictionary could.
Scenario 3. A friend texts, "It's a wash. Traffic killed my plan." No drama in the tone, just a tired sigh in the voice note. Pause. What does "it's a wash" point to?
I'd say the plan ended with no result, basically canceled out. The dash and the reason "traffic killed my plan" explain the outcome. No win, no progress today.
Right. "It's a wash" often means it didn't work out or there's no net benefit. The cause and result chain gave it away without needing a definition.
Scenario 4. A coworker says, "The Wi-Fi is flaky today, so presentations might lag." Her tone is apologetic, pace a bit slow. Pause. What does flaky suggest here?
Unreliable. The clue is the signal word "so," which points to a result. Presentations might lag. If the outcome is lag, the cause is unstable internet. The soft tone matches mild warning, not panic.
Exactly. And a handy move is mirroring the meaning back. Got it. The connection's unstable. That short paraphrase confirms you understood and keeps work moving.
Quick wrap-up. Notice time hints, contrast or cause words, gestures, and tone. Give yourself a tiny pause. Make a kind guess. Then confirm with a mirror phrase. Your ears will spot meaning faster, and your replies will sound calm and clear.
Before we sign off, quick wrap. Today we turned context clues into a habit, hearing tone and stress, spotting synonyms and paraphrases, and letting examples, contrasts, and signal words steer understanding.
And we tested listen, pause, predict in real moments. That tiny breath before reacting helps your brain guess meaning first, then confirm it. So conversations stay smooth and low stress.
On my commute, a cyclist yelled, "Heads up, bike lane's blocked near Oak." I didn't know what blocked meant at first, but the warning tone and the quick dash told me trouble ahead. I detoured and saved minutes.
Yesterday, the clinic called. We're running behind, about 20 minutes late. The paraphrase after the dash translated the phrase for me. Calm voice, clear time clue, zero panic. Just a helpful update.
When meaning is fuzzy, mirror it back. So, just to confirm, meeting moves online because of the storm? That gentle mirror checks intent without stopping the flow or sounding formal.
Stay in calm curiosity. Ask one small question if needed. Is that urgent or soon? By the way, subtext means the hidden message under the words. Tone usually reveals it.
Daily practice idea. Pick one real clip, bus announcement, a friend's voice note, or a short video. Listen once, pause, predict one meaning, then re-listen for signals like because, so, however, or for example.
I keep tiny notes on my phone. Clue I heard, my guess, how it was confirmed. 2 lines, done. Over time, you'll see patterns, and your guesses get faster and kinder.
Fast recap. Tone shows mood, stress highlights the key word, intonation shows questions or certainty, examples paint pictures, contrasts draw boundaries, cause and result connects the dots.
And remember, progress beats perfection. Missing a word isn't failure. It's an invitation to notice clues. Confidence grows when you keep the conversation moving.
If today helped, follow the show, rate it, or share it with a friend who loves real-life English. Your support keeps these conversations coming.
Thanks for spending time with us. Take your new ears into the day. Listen for the tiny signals and trust your predictions. We'll talk to you soon.